All right, here we go. Welcome to another episode of the Climate Action Homes podcast. My name is Joan Gregerson. I'm a realtor with EXP Realty, and I am.
All right, here we go. Welcome
let me
to
see if I
another
can
episode
focus.
of the Climate Action.
There we go. And I'm focused on the environment and how we can use the process of buying, selling, investing, and living in our homes to make a positive eco impact. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, is especially highlighting 4 new rebate programs in different parts of Colorado that you may or may not know about, that can help us make our homes more eco-friendly. But before we dive into this, I just want to ask you, why does it even matter? Why are we even talking about this? Well, part of it is that in the most recent IPCC report, so this is the organization, the international group of climate scientists that have told us what is going on with the climate. And here are the 5 takeaways. Things are way worse than we thought. Loss and damage, that means that those of us in the more affluent countries that are creating more of the carbon emissions, that we are responsible. It's starting to be more responsible for the people that are getting most impacted by it, island communities, other folks in the US and around the world. Technology like carbon, like CO2, that's supposed to be CO2 capture, is not a silver bullet. Cities offer hope, and the small window is closing fast. So most of us live in cities. And so that shows us that, things are way worse than we thought. There's no, we're not going to be able to use carbon dioxide capture to make this all go away. The cities is where we have hope, and the small window of opportunity is closing fast. So, if you're in the Denver, Colorado area, whether you're living in a single family home or an apartment or wherever you are, we can be part of the solution. Okay, I don't know how to advance it. It's not advancing. Let's see if we can do this here. There we go. We're figuring this out as we go. So what we're going to be talking about, some of these things are only if you're a homeowner, and some apply to anybody. So, if you've been thinking, well, I would love to make my home more energy efficient. I'd love for it to be a model, but where am I going to get the money to do it? And what I want to tell you is that if we have this kind of scarcity thinking, like, oh, I'd like to, but there's no way to do it, then we're probably not going to find a way. Instead, I'd like you to think about more of a prosperity approach to this. And that is that if you believe that there's a way to do it and receive the help to make it happen, then you can make it happen. But I want to add in there, believe, ask, and receive. So that's what we're going to be talking about, is these different rebate programs that you can reach out to for assistance. So throughout the podcast, I'm going to be bringing you more details about all of these different rebate programs and many others that are out there. But first, I just want you to have that mindset that if there's something that you want to do, let's see if there's something out there. And if not, let's coordinate with our cities, our utilities, and help make it happen. So here are the 4 that we're going to be looking at. So let's just dive in. So the first one is Denver Office of Climate Action, Sustainability, and Resilience. And that goes by Denver CASR. And in April 2022, they announced $9 million of climate action rebate programs to cover up to 100% of the cost for all electric energy equipment. And so there's details on each one, has a little bit different. Some of them are only up to 80% of the total cost, but either way, pretty huge. E-bikes, so $400 for an e-bike or $1,200 if you are income qualified. Um, EV charging, home wiring. So let's say you want to be able to charge your electric vehicle. Air source heat pumps. So you want to get off your gas furnace. You're able to get $7,200 or $9,000 to help you do that. We had another podcast episode a couple episodes back with Christine Brinker talking about her information of going to electric heat pump for the house and a heat pump water heater. So definitely check that one out. Ground source heat pump, that again, up to $9,000. Mini split heat pumps, heat pump water heaters, and there are rebates for solar, but they are coordinating with how they're going to be communicating and collaborating, coordinating all of that. So watch for those. Battery storage, and that's something it's linked to these other rebates. And then also you might be like, well, I'd love to do this, but I need to upgrade my electric service. And so there's a bump in that too. So that is pretty exciting. And what I want to tell you about the Denver CASR program, and this is something, if you're not in Denver, to think about, that residents led an initiative, put it on the ballot, and it passed a couple years back, of a 0.25% tax that funds this program, and it generates $40 million a year for climate action. So if your city does not already have something like that, then you probably would do well to study the Denver model and go from there. All right. Rebate program number 2, this is pretty cool. Xcel Energy has a ton of incentives out there for energy efficiency. But there are especially new rebates for Marshall Fire recovery. In addition, Xcel Energy has energy audits, programs around LED lights, different incentives for improving the energy efficiency of your home. So anybody can get those, anybody that's in Xcel Energy territory. But if you know someone that was impacted by the Marshall fires, then please let them know about these new incentives. And this is kind of interesting because in the past, all of the rebates from Xcel Energy went straight to the builders. In this case, for any homeowner that is rebuilding after the Marshall fire, these incentives go directly to them. So this is anywhere from $10,000 to $37.5 K, depending on what level of energy efficiency, from Energy Star to Zero Energy Ready Home to the new Energy Star, all the way up to Passive House. And in future podcast episodes, we will be diving in to more details so that you can understand more of those details. The other thing that's cool about these incentives is, let's say that the homeowner that was there decided not to rebuild, but somebody else comes in. There are incentives for the new resident, the new person that's coming in. It's not quite as high. But at least if you search for Marshall Fire recovery on Xcel Energy, you'll be able to find those. All right. Third innovative rebate program that I wanted to tell you about, that this is so cool. Aurora Water. So if you're in the city of Aurora, Colorado, there is a WaterWise landscape rebate. So most water utilities, if you don't already know, have rebates for low flow toilets, for maybe low flow shower heads. They'll do irrigation audits. Sometimes they'll give you some kind of a discount or rebate for irrigation controls, for those sensors that will tell you if you need to water based on rain. But this is a new and super cool thing. What the WaterWise landscaping rebate does is, this is a rebate of $3,000, up to $3,000, if you take out 500 square feet of your bluegrass lawn and in your front or side yard. And what's awesome about this, there's so many things that are amazing about this. But as you can see right here, they estimate this might save you up to half of your normal watering bill. So if most of your lawn is out front and you pull out a good amount of it, then it can really decrease your watering bill. And so many more people are moving into Colorado. There's more homes being built, and there's more lawns going in. But we have a water problem. So if we don't really have water, the water that we're using right now, we're pulling from the western slope to serve the eastern slope, Denver and the Front Range, which is not really just, right? And so I used to work with People and Pollinators Action Network, and there's so many benefits to removing lawn, turf, bluegrass lawn, which is not a native species, and instead putting in some native grasses, some pollinator-friendly plants. So in addition to saving water, you can make an ecosystem right in your neighborhood to give pollinators, native pollinators, honeybees, butterflies, all these amazing plants that are these amazing pollinators that are a key part of our ecosystem. So that is a very cool thing. If you need help with figuring out that landscaping, the city of Aurora actually has people that will help you, but you might also want to check out our other podcast episodes. There's one with Erin Murphy, who does restorative landscape design, and then also Linnea Bjorkman and Katrina Karcheski also do home gardens. So if you're thinking, yeah, let me get rid of this lawn and do something better, you can check out some of those other podcasts for ideas. And the other thing I should say is that some of like Denver Water, they have some kits that you can get to also help with that. They don't have quite that $3,000. But if your water utility does not yet have this rebate, this would be a great thing for your community to advocate. There are a total of 10 communities in Colorado that have something like this. So if your local water utility does not yet, then you can advocate for this. There is a bill going through the state legislature. I'm not sure if it passed or not. I didn't get the final wrap on that, but was going to set aside more money for cities to be able to do more of this. So that is a very cool thing. And the last one, number 4, is the federal tax credit. I was talking to someone not too long ago, and they said, yeah, we went ahead and got solar because we thought that the federal tax credit was going to expire. And the thing with this tax credit, the investment tax credit, is it usually gets set up to be extended for just 2 or 3 years at a time. And so when I was selling solar, designing solar, it was earlier going to expire a while back. It got extended, but the good news is that it did get extended again. So if you maybe were talking to someone about getting solar at some point and you think, oh man, I missed those federal investment tax credits. No, you didn't. It's actually up at the highest level that it has been in this program, 26% this year. It is scheduled to go down to 22% for 2023 and 10% for 2024. Hopefully it will be renewed again. But the investment tax credit, the way this works is that you pay, let's say your system is 20,000 or 40,000. Okay, let's use a number like 30,000. You pay 30,000 for your solar, and at the end of the year when you do your taxes, let's say you owe $6,000 on taxes. If that 26% of your cost, that comes right off of your tax bill. And if you have overpaid, then you get that amount back. So it's pretty cool. And having worked doing solar sales, I know that the solar companies are really up on it and can help you figure out how to do all this. And there's usually financing and other cool things. So hopefully this just whets your appetite, because no matter what you want to do, it's likely that there is a rebate. And if there isn't one yet in your community, there probably is somewhere else. And so you guys can get together and advocate. But here's the places that you can check: your city, your electric and gas utility, your water utility, and the equipment vendors. So if you're wondering, hey, is there a rebate for e-bikes or electric vehicle chargers? If you ask the people that sell them, there are usually a very good source of information of those rebates. Your state energy office, because there's other programs out there like weatherization, and then federal tax credits, which we just mentioned. So you might want to talk with an accountant. Lenders, if you're going to buy or sell your home, like if you're going to buy a home, and tell your lender, hey, is there any opportunity here for me to get an energy efficient mortgage, a renovation loan? Can I get a few extra tens of thousands or few thousand to redo my landscaping or do solar or a heat pump? And then nonprofits. Sometimes there are community-based nonprofits or someone with an interest in your neighborhood or that specific topic that has some kind of resources available. All right, so that is what I wanted to tell you. And just to kind of remind you, why does this matter? Why does making these extra phone calls, doing these extra searches, why am I asking you to prioritize? Because as we know from the scientists around the world have told us, and we're seeing it, we lost 1,000 homes in a day during the Marshall fires in February in that Louisville, Superior area. So we know this is happening now. We've got the fires burning in New Mexico right now. So we know that climate change is happening. Things are way worse. Cities offer hope, and the small window is closing fast. All right, so that is the end of this presentation. So just remembering that your home is a place where you can make a large difference in your carbon footprint. Look at all these places that we could be putting solar, for example. All right, so that is, I'm going to stop my screen share here. And if you have any other ideas for other episodes, anything else that you want to cover, please reach out. You can go to climateactionhomes.com and search for properties, book a call with me. I'm working in the Denver, Colorado area, but I can also connect you with people around the world through my work as a realtor with eXp Realty. And thank you so much for tuning in. And I look forward to connecting with you on the next Climate Action Homes podcast. See you soon. Thank you. Bye.